Hello and welcome everyone who is in the house live. I see we have 26 people in the house and counting. Awesome. If you're here, drop a comment. Let me know that you're here, ready to go. We're going to be discussing how do we pay off debt fast. This year, we're going to be looking at practical tips, tools, where we can literally find money in your household, in your economy, how we redirect money to your cash flow so that you can have more money left over at the end of the month, so that extra money can be applied towards your debt elimination strategy. So we're going to look at some towards your debt elimination strategy. So we're going to look at some general things you might not even be aware of, a recap, a refresher on things, and then I'm going to take it even more strategic, and I'm going to ask for some interaction, some engagement. It's going to be personal. I'm going to ask you all that are tuning in live right now. You're the ones that are going to get the most value from this masterclass, the ones that are attending this session right here, right now. I'm going to ask that you comment where you're tuning in from, what state, and the job or career that you're currently in, right? Most of the people that watch this channel have jobs, have careers, and then you have a desire to invest in assets or start a business, right? So for those of you who are in your career or in your jobs right now, you have 2 jobs, 1 job, throw in husband, throw in wife, what their job is, what their career is. And I'm going to use those careers, those industries for my case study that I'm going to lay out here. And it's going to be looking at specific careers based on the people in this community, ways that we can find more money, ways that we can increase our income on top of all the things I'm going to lay out here, right? So go ahead and start commenting where you're tuning in from, what state, the career or job you currently have, right? And maybe like a little description, what you do. So that'll help me, and then I'll pick through the case studies. We'll dive into it. We'll have a ton of fun. Let me do a few shout outs real quick. Also, if this is your first time tuning in live, let us know in the comments. Good morning to Christy Van. Hello, hello. Congrats on just hitting 80,000 subscribers. I just checked I think it was last night. So I don't know if you just hit it last night or the day before. God bless you. You are just going wild, fast. It's amazing. I love it. I love it. I love it. You're going to get that 100K plaque before you know it. That 100K YouTube plaque. I can't wait. If you get it, even if you do get 100K, I think it takes a while before you actually get the plaque. But I was going to say, because we're going to be hanging out in South Florida together soon, bring that plaque. But I don't think it'll come in time, because I think it does take a little while. Loretta, I'm in Hawaii. Hello, hello. Good morning, good morning. Funding Guru, how you doing? Oh yeah, prayers to those in Hawaii. Are you good, Loretta? All good? All good over there? There's a lot been going on. I feel like Hawaii has been just ignored, financially speaking, compared to what's going on in other parts of the world. We're sending billions of dollars to an undisclosed location. Link, come on. Let's help America out, right? Jerry, good morning, good morning. Market Biz, how you doing? How are you doing? James, hello. Pearl, hello. Corey. How you doing? Cherry. Stacy, good morning. First time catching live. Awesome. Ready to go. Love it. Shane, Denver, Colorado. Love your viewpoints, Denzel. It's helped me increase my overall cash flow. Love it. Love it. If you watched last week's live stream, that is going to also be very beneficial, because I gave you the foundation, I gave you the principles, and thinking in 10-year increments, building your wealth plan, today it's going to be more like right here, right now. What can I do? Like literally getting off this live stream, I can pick 3 things I can go do right this minute and increase my cash flow right away. And guess what? It doesn't involve you joining any network marketing, multi-level marketing companies. Doesn't involve you investing in, I don't know, cryptos and stocks and Forex and, joining some influencer, some content creator. Doesn't involve buying a program or course. Doesn't involve starting drop shipping e-commerce stores. Not to say that any of those things are bad. They all have their place. I'm just saying everything I'm going to share with you requires $0, right? In terms of the practical tips. Doesn't require money up front to get the job done. And for doing the job, you're going to get money back into your economy, right? This is going to benefit everyone here that is under $90,000 a year, right? I believe the average American income salary is now anywhere between $60,000 and $70,000 a year. So I just added another 20. The reality is I have a bunch of clients that are making 100, 120, 130, 150K a year, still living paycheck to paycheck, right? And that's just a matter of their lifestyle choices that got them there. Because once you get to 6 figures consistently, you make 6 figures consistently year over year, you should be cash flowing a couple $1,000 a year, a couple $1,000 per month. You really should. So if you're generating 150,000 a year, 200,000, 250,000 a year, and you're still cash flowing $1,000 a month, $500 a month, 1,200, 1,300, you definitely have lifestyle choices and probably massive amount of debt that's just totally eating you up, right? Even if you live in the state of California, even if you live in New York and you're generating 150,000, 200,000, 250,000 a year, you still should be cash flowing at least over $1,500 a month, at least, right? So those are lifestyle choices. Those are cultural habits. Those are, poor decisions made over a long period of time, right? So even you guys that are watching that make 6 figures or higher, and your paycheck to paycheck or your cash flow is around $500,000, you will also gain a lot of value from this. In fact, you'll probably move faster. But for those of you that are generating under $90,000 a year, go ahead and comment that below as well. Comment how much you estimate you'll do this year in revenue, gross, from your job career. Go ahead and comment that. And let's get comfortable with how much money we're making right now. Like, let's get comfortable saying how much money we make and not like hiding and being in fear and scarcity mode, right? Like, let's get really comfortable around our money. Let's really build a strong relationship with our money so that we can control and dominate and subdue money, multiply money, replenish money, be fruitful with our money. Let's do these things so that we can drop cultural habits, cultural norms, what society tells us to do, and all these different things, so that we can step into the land of abundance, the mindset of abundance. All right, let's do that. Let's get real. Let's get real. All right, let me do a couple more. Shane, how are you? So auto sales. All right, I think I might use that. Robin, blessings here. Jim, hello. Live from Ohio. Corporate banking. ERC, cool. Trucking, I think I might use trucking as well. Okay, physical therapist, cool. Wifey's a homemaker. There's money to be made as a homemaker. I might do that because a lot of the people watching, a lot of the people that I attract are mothers. So that'll be a good one that I'll use. All right, cool. I'm going to stop with the comments. let's take it to the whiteboard. Let's dive right into it. 10 minutes into the live stream, I think I've gotten through the basics. Got 58 people in the house. If you are enjoying the content, if you're a subscriber, you're loyal, go ahead and hit the like button so that more can be aware of what's going on here. And those of you who are brand new to me, don't hit the like button yet. I want to make sure I give you value first before I ask for that. All right? So, first and foremost, got to know your numbers. 4 major numbers. I did not put a case study here. I'm just giving you parameters of who am I like talking to that's going to really benefit the most, and that's people under $90,000 a year in your career or job, and you're anywhere between $0 and $500 a month or negative, right? Now, if you're a little bit above this, maybe 1,000, maybe 1,200, this will still apply to you. If you're in the 150K, like I said, this will still apply to you. This is really those who are making and spending roughly the same amount of money. All right, so we're gonna go through this list right here. These are things that I've covered on the YouTube channel, on this YouTube channel, many times over in different case studies, right? And now I'm consolidating it into one video, right? So let's find money. Let's find money in your household, right? The first place is gonna be your taxes, right? There's a major, huge amount of money that we can recover from taxes alone, especially those of you in the house that are business owners, right? If you are a business owner, I have a very, very, very strong relationship, connection. I'm a client as well of Better Wealth. And let me just get that out of the way real quick, because I know I don't have a whole lot of business owners on here. Like I said, most of us in here are career workers, right? So I'm going to share my screen real quick. Those of you who are business owners that feel like you're overpaying on taxes, or you don't have a good tax strategy, that's your number one expense, is your taxes. Second is going to be your operational costs. Your number one expense is taxes. So if you're able to recover cash flow just by having a better tax strategy and working with people that you can really build long-term wealth with just through, good tax strategy, I want to plug you in to this gentleman right here, Caleb. He's got over 20,000 subs, Better Wealth, name of his company. He's got a whole tax arm, tax team. I'll put a link. Let me just copy paste that link. If you ever reach out to them, mention my name. If you end up doing work with them, right? If you end up doing work with them at any capacity, taxes, insurance, they have a lot of different, services that you can use with them. Whatever you end up doing with them, please inform me, let me know, so that I can also give to you in terms of the stuff that I can provide. Maybe I can provide some strategy coaching with you, things like that. So I'm going to put that link, go like that, have that on the screen. Cool. Now, let's take it back to the whiteboard. Taxes. So that was for the business owners. Now, for the career employees, right? Whoever your current accountant is, whoever you currently do your taxes with, have a conversation with them and ask them, hey, how can I fill up my W-4 where I don't get a refund at the end of the year? I want to keep as much of my paycheck as possible where at the end of the year, I will not owe any taxes, nor will I receive any money, right? Now, there's a difference between tax credits and a tax refund. If you get a refund, that means you overpaid the IRS. They held your money in an account and it was earning 0% for that entire tax calendar year. And then they gave you that money back. When they give you the money back, that money is now worth less in your economy. And the reality is, most of us do not know how to manage cash windfalls. Okay? A cash windfall can be as little as $1,000, can be as much as millions of dollars, right? A cash windfall is basically any amount of money that you weren't really expecting or knowing what that amount would be. And so what ends up happening is when we get a cash windfall, I see it all the time, is we spend it before we even get it. So the accountant will let us know, okay, you're going to get a $4,000 refund. And then when they tell you that amount, you're immediately spending that money. Like, okay, I'm gonna put 1,000 here. We're gonna take 2,000 going on vacation because we need it. And then before you know it, the money's gone, right? So I would rather, it would be more efficient, in my opinion, for most people, if that 4,000 was spread over throughout that tax calendar year, so we can have more of the money and use it on a monthly basis effectively and efficiently. We can set up a savings plan. We can set up an emergency fund. We can set up a building credit operation. We can set up a business operation. There's a lot of things that we can do, right? So that is a very important. So if you get a tax credit, that's different. Tax credits are cool. It's literally, you're just getting money for like doing a certain thing, or like, I think it's like, amount of children you have. In business, there's tax credits as well. You're getting money from the IRS for maybe doing certain things, right? So tax credits are cool, but we don't want a refund. We don't want to overpay, tip the IRS, and then give us back that same money, but it's worth less because it didn't earn any interest, right? So take your time. You can also go on YouTube, right? And you can seek out an accountant that specializes in this. There's a couple of YouTubers, small YouTube channels that I've seen. I would go to the smaller ones, this way you don't pay through your teeth with like a major influencer, and they're maybe doing more complex strategies. So I would find a content creator YouTuber that is really focusing on career folks, people with jobs, on how to properly fill out their W-4. You can literally search that on YouTube, how to properly fill out my W-4 so that I don't get a refund. See what pops up, look at a couple videos, see who you like, build some trust, reach out, have a conversation. It shouldn't cost you, I don't think it'll cost money to do that. I know there's connections that we all have that we could use and leverage. If it does cost money, it shouldn't cost a lot. It should be a small move, all right? Now, next move. Anyone in here can do this, right? Set up a new checking account that comes with a cash bonus when you deposit X amount of dollars, right? I think it's like X amount of dollars, or just having the money there, or sending direct deposit. There's a certain instructions that they'll have. What's great about this is if you're in the process of finding your debt tool, right? If you're in the process of trying to find a home equity line of credit or a personal line of credit, right? A nice little bonus is maybe that bank that you're looking at has a checking account that comes with a bonus. Maybe $100, $200, $300. It can go as high as I've seen like $500, $600, but then you're depositing probably much more money. So we're really looking for about maybe $100, $200, $250 of opening up a new checking account. Let's say you're not doing velocity banking at all, right? Let's say no velocity banking at all, doesn't make sense for your situation, and you're just doing, you're just making extra payments, or maybe you're doing cash flow index, or maybe you're doing debt avalanche, right? Or maybe you're not paying off debt, focusing on building your business, right, and increasing your top line revenue, income. Then you can have a little strategy here where you kind of bounce around from bank to bank, getting multiple bonuses. Depending on the more money you make, you could have you can do maybe 2 or 3 times and split your check 3 different ways. That might get a little more complicated as I'm thinking about it. That's not something that I did for myself, but I know a guy that I met at FinCon, and he was doing it multiple times over. I never asked him the question about the whole tax implication behind that, and then if he's closing the accounts after a certain period of time, which I'm sure he is, but there is a limitation, right? You don't want to just open up a new checking account, right? Get the bonus and then close the account, right? Because I think they can take it back, or the money needs to be there for like a year or longer, something like that. But if we did it just one time, open up a new checking account, get a $200 bonus, $150 bonus, whatever it is, one time, that's great. Nice little boost, right? And we can find some money, and now we can apply that towards debt elimination, right? Okay, quick one, easy. Next one, depending on our credit, as we're eliminating debt, proving credit, we can go out and get a 0% credit card on purchases and balance transfers. That also come with a bonus, right? So these are not hard to find. Bunch of credit cards out there that come with 0% for 12 months, right? There's a bunch of these cards that'll say 0%, 12 months on purchases and balance transfers. And then it'll say spend $3K, get $200 back. Spend $6K, $300, right? Or I remember one with Capital One. I think I got $700 for spending a certain amount of money within. Usually, it's within 90 days. Now, this is extremely easy to do if you do it the way that I'm going to tell you, that I'm going to show you how to do it, right? Instead of transferring debt on here, we could literally pay up bills for the entire year, right? That might be more advantageous than eliminating a debt by throwing it on the card, or the reverse. So either or, right? But what we should not be doing is just spending $3,000 to get the $200 back in terms of like shopping and just wasting and eating out, like just wasting. I would rather, from your expenses, identify certain bills that are consistent, like car insurance, your phone bill, any like consistent subscriptions you may have. Maybe you're able to pay your electric bill with a credit card, your gas bill, your water bill. There might be some case studies where you can pay with a credit card without additional fees, right? But car insurance is a big one, phone bill, right? Subscriptions, maybe your monthly grocery spending, right? We have to eat, right? That's important. So if we can identify certain bills that typically don't change, and we can switch from monthly to annual, run it on the card for the 0% for 12 months, and cost me any money to do it, and then I get $200 or $300 back, plus the, say, $200 here, right? That's money, and there's cashback rewards, 1 to 3% cashback rewards on those purchases, on those bills. All that money can reduce your cost of living, which increases your cash flow, which gives you more cash flow, again, to eliminate debt, pay off debt extremely fast this year, right? So that's fun. Fixing your taxes, analyzing bills, okay? Analyzing bills and reducing insurance costs, right? I recently established a partnership with an awesome gentleman by the name of Dapo. and I am now a managing partner of an agency, insurance agency. And what we're able to do, working with us, we're able to recover usually plus or minus $3,000 to $6,000 on just your household bills alone, right? So it doesn't necessarily mean removing a bill, right? So we can keep certain bills, right? Not to say that you shouldn't eliminate some things in your life. Totally, that helps with increasing cash flow. But we can look at your bills, and typically we're going to be looking at your insurances, all the different types of insurances that you have: health insurance, life insurance, homeowners insurance, car insurance, dental, vision, all of the insurances that we all pay for on a monthly basis. Working with the company I'm now partnered with, we can help you potentially recover plus or minus $3,000 to $6,000. That's, for most people, that's nearly doubling your cash flow just from that one move, right? So if we can help you reduce your car insurance, we can help you reduce maybe your homeowner's insurance, maybe reduce your health insurance, maybe reduce dental and vision, right? Maybe switch. Maybe you have a life insurance policy that's too expensive. We can find you a different one for maybe the same or more amount of death benefit, right? So we're analyzing those things together to help you find that money, right? And you keep those things. Your phone plan. Maybe we can help you save a ton of money on your phone plan, right? Phone companies are constantly competing with each other. So give yourself that opportunity to shop, to experience discounts, and when working with certain companies, certain organizations, to help you reduce that, right? Another pro tip here: depending on the company, organization you work for, you can potentially negotiate, ask for them to cover something like your phone bill, right? Cover certain types of bills, right? I've worked with so many clients now that they get reimbursements for different things that they have in their life that they no longer have to worry about spending money on. And that gives them more cash flow. And it doesn't take away from their salary. It's their salary on top of literally them reimbursing them for a certain thing. Prime example, my mom works remote from home, right? And after like 90 days of working, they offer to pay your internet bill, right? They pay the internet bill completely. So I was paying for my own internet, right? And now that saves me like $50 a month, right? I use Xfinity. So now I saved the money. Her company now covers that cost. That's an extra $600 back into my economy. You guys know what I can do with $600, okay? Just understand this: every dollar I put into my business, I get $3 out on average. So if I put $600 into my business, I'm able to pump out $1,800 more dollars, right? So every dollar counts. Every penny counts. And that's why I say you need to know your numbers down to the penny. Know where your money is going. So that's huge. That is huge. That's something that you can reach out to me about. And that's like part of the coaching that I do with clients already, that I was doing in the past. But now I have a whole company that I can work with. I can kind of help with that. So that's huge. So analyze your bills, reduce insurance costs, right? Here's the next thing: signing up for rewards, free memberships. Those of you that shop at certain supermarkets, certain stores where you get your clothes from. I was talking to a client recently. They might be here right now. It was this week. It was this week or last week, and she was saying how she's like a master at like couponing, right? So she analyzes all the different coupons that she can get on the internet before she goes into the store, right? And then sets out a game plan in terms of what she's going to get from that store. So there's a lot of us in here that are spending probably double in the last 2 years on food alone. Food costs has doubled, maybe even tripled on certain products over the last 2-3 years since the start of COVID, right? So although I have clients that were spending $500 a month prior to COVID, after COVID, they're still around that same number, right? Maybe a little bit higher, maybe 600, maybe 650, but not no 1,000, not no 900, like a dramatic increase. So whoever in the household is responsible for the grocery shopping, whether it's husband or wife or both, you guys need a game plan. Your food cost has nearly doubled or tripled in your household. You have to have noticed it, but you don't have a choice because you have to keep buying the eggs and you have to keep buying milk and you have to keep buying the steak and the meats and all and the fruits and the veggies and all that stuff. You have to keep buying it. But there is an efficient way to go about doing that. One of them is signing up for rewards and free memberships, racking up points, discounts, getting the coupon books, going on the internet. And, we could YouTube this. I know there's content creators, there's mothers out there that are creating content, that are educating other mothers, other people that do the grocery shopping, and finding all these awesome deals and discounts that you can get. Now, if your income is really, 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 really low, like it's like 20,000, 30,000, there's the WIC and the government helping and assistance and things like that. But even that free money, go ahead and, understand how we can maximize those dollars as well, right? So that's important. Sign up for rewards, free memberships, where you shop for your clothes, and hey, no need to buy Gucci. No need to buy, Coach and all these expensive brands, right? So let's humble ourselves for a temporary period of time. If you're in a position where you're living paycheck to paycheck, cash flow's low, you got no business buying a $75 shirt. You got no business buying $90 jeans, $60 leggings from Lululemon. You got no business being there if you are paycheck to paycheck, cash flow is low, or you're in a negative position. Please stop doing that. That's just like a please. That's a request. Please. Can you stop? You're hurting your household. You're hurting your kingdom. You're hurting everybody, right? You don't need to shop there. We can go to Payless. We can go to Walmart. We can find deals, maybe TJ Maxx, Target, what's the other one? Was it Kohl's? Even the thrift store, Goodwill. I'm not saying forever, right? I'm not saying forever. I wear buttercloth shirts when I do live streams. Each one of these shirts are like $100, right? But if you go watch my videos when I first started making content, you're going to see me wearing regular clothes. And I was doing that for a long period of time before I started buying these. Right? So let's not trip. Come on now. Simple stuff, right? Everyone can do this. Right? Next is affiliate referral partnerships, preferably the free ones. So this is getting into things that you buy in your economy day after day, week after week, month after month, that if you were to analyze where you're sending your money to these different companies and organizations, go to their websites and see if they have some kind of affiliate program, referral partnership program to shop with them. So maybe they might have a rewards program, right, which is that free sign up thing. Maybe they might have a credit card from that same company. I know that for the longest time, even till this day, I usually shop at Macy's, right? And I signed up for the free membership, and then eventually I got the Macy's credit card, right? So whenever I shop at Macy's, I use my Macy's credit card. So I get points on top of points on top of points. And then they send me things for my birthday. So I strategically shop around the times where I get the most amount of discounts, right? And then when I'm in there, I'm looking for the stuff that's on sale, the stuff that's out of season, right? I don't need to prove to anybody how good I look when I'm broke, right? I don't need to do that. Once I'm rich, and I want to treat myself, I'm treating myself because of the work I put in, right? I'm not creating a false identity of myself when I'm broke and act like I'm rich. I'm not faking it till I make it. No. No, it's authenticity all along the way. And then when I have produced and multiplied and replenished and subdued and have dominion over the fruit, then I'm going to reward myself with nicer things, right? These shirts are no joke. They're like $100, $150, $120 shirts. And I've got like maybe 15, 20 of them. That's a lot of shirts, right? But I was not buying those. If you look back, go back 5 years, go back 4 years, you won't see them. You won't see them, right? So that's important. So signing up for affiliate referral partnerships with companies and organizations you already shop at, and then coworkers, friends, family, right? You can create a whole little system that when you shop here, you talk about it to your friends. Hey, click this link, get this discount, use my code to get this discount, and you're going to get more money back. Okay? Pretty simple. Now, I have an opportunity on the affiliate and referral partnerships specifically for clients, right? That anybody that is a client of mine, been working with me, you're in my program, you've gotten results, you can testify to the work that we've been able to do together, right? I'm happy to offer you a referral affiliate partnership to promote my course, my programs, and that can help you produce money. So I have a lot of people that I know in this room that you talk about me, you share about my videos, okay? Well, if you're doing that, now I want to create an opportunity to reward you for promoting this YouTube channel, for promoting the work that I've been doing the last 5 years. I want to create that opportunity, right? So you can email me directly about that. Hey, I want to sign up as an affiliate. I'm a client, been working with you, right? I'll just look you up, say, okay, cool, boom. All right, if you're not a client, I don't want to offer that opportunity for the sake of just making money, right? Because I want to make sure that you're referring something you know will work for that person you're talking to. You won't be able to have that experience if you haven't worked with me one-to-one, if you haven't been in my programs, if you haven't been a part of Finance Geek Ministry. It's just not going to work like that, right? Cool? Cool. This is money. Putting money back in your pocket. All right. 2 last things. These are personal. I get frustrated around this environment because I understand the space that I'm in. I get it. But I'm going to get a little, I'm going to turn the gas on just a little bit here because these 2 things right here will destroy everything I just said. Because what's going to happen is all these things that you're doing to find all this money, and you're going to do it. Some of you in here are going to do it. You're going to get phenomenal results. You're going to double, triple your cash flow. And then what will happen is you're going to come across a guru. You're going to find a guru like me. You're going to find an influencer. You're going to get sold something that's going to cost you thousands of dollars, probably. And I already know that when that happens, I know you didn't run the math. Didn't run the math. Nor did you run the risk. Those two things. They sold you on the dream. They sold you on the process, the destination, all this stuff. They sold you. After all this hard work we just did, all that money that we said we were going to put towards eliminating debt, you then bought a $7,000 program. $10,000 program is going to help you get rich quick. $15,000 program. $50,000 program. $25,000 program. There's some of you in here that are using velocity banking poorly. Improper use of velocity banking. Matter of fact, here's how you've been doing it. Some of you, right? Let me put it back on. Let me put the camera back on me because I gotta get real now. Okay? Not that I wasn't real already. It's about to get real. Okay? I'm calling you out for those that have spent thousands of dollars on fancy, shiny objects, and you were hoping for a result, and that result is not there. Newsflash. You didn't do what you originally set out to do with me. Okay? When we first spoke, right? Uh-oh. What did you say? When you first commented on my YouTube channel, when you first emailed me, when you first filled out that contact form, there was a question. The question was, how can I help you? Explain in detail. I'm a man of details. I'm a man of numbers. I'm a man of integrity. That's why I asked you that question. What did you tell me? I want to pay off debt. I want to become debt free. I want to pay off my credit cards, my student loans, my car loans. I want to pay off my mortgage. You said that. And then I help you do it. We do it together. Maybe you invest with me in one-to-one consulting, coaching, and strategy. Maybe you bought a course. Maybe you just were watching the videos. And then what happened? You found Mrs. and Mr. Guru. So you said, oh, okay, Denzel's showing me how to leverage and right? I'm going to get this line of credit. I'm going to get this HELOC. I'm going to get 4 credit cards. And I'm going to take all that money and I'm going to buy real estate. So you go and do it. So you just betrayed yourself. You told yourself something that you were going to commit to. And then 90 days later, 6 months later, 9 months later, 12 months later, you a whole different man. You a whole different woman. Oh, now you're going to be a real estate investor. Oh, now you're going to be a MLMer. Nice. Great. Let me know how it goes. I'm talking to the woman, the man that I met 12 months ago that said they wanted to become debt free. And now you're talking to the guru. It ain't the guru's fault either. Right? That was a contributing factor. The guru is a contributing factor to your situation. The determining factor is you making that decision to depart with that amount of money for the hope and prayer that it's going to work out. I don't operate like that. I'm sorry. I just don't. I'm a numbers guy. If I make $50,000 a year, if I make $90,000 a year, it makes no earthly sense for me to spend $50,000 on a freaking coaching program, $25,000 on a coaching program. I don't know a situation where God, Jesus Christ, Holy Spirit is telling me to spend that kind of money. I know what he is telling me to do. Calculate the costs. That's what the word says. And I know you didn't run the math. I know it. Because when I ask, you ain't able to tell me. Ain't able to do it. So, please, another request. I'm going to lower my voice. I'm going to calm down. Please, invest in yourself before someone else. Please, invest in yourself before someone else. Prime example. Now, here's what the guru is going to do. Guess what? I do it as well. I'm putting me on the spot. I do it as well. Okay? Here's what gurus like me and everybody here on YouTube, here's what we do. Right? I've done it before. Right? Hey, here's how you can invest in yourself by buying this program. I've done it before. Okay? I'm being vulnerable. Done it before. Right? So, done it with other people as well. Everyone on YouTube has done this. The guru, the influencer. Hey, invest in yourself. Don't buy the stocks. Don't buy the dividends yet. Don't buy that high, whatever asset, right? Invest in yourself by buying this book, by buying this course, this program. Okay? So, not that that's a bad thing. Hear me out. Technically, investing in yourself requires some kind of money, right? It does. So, investing in yourself can look like many different things. So that's why what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay out some levels to investing in yourself. There's some levels to investing in yourself that I want to lay out so that there's clarity, so that you don't get deceived, manipulated, or tricked into thinking that, oh yeah, I'm investing in myself in this $10,000 program that's going to help me become a better person. But if I am broke, there's like a pre-qualification, right? It's like a pre-qualification. You see, when anyone in here becomes an accredited investor, which means you're generating over $250,000 a year, or you have $1 million plus in net worth, that means you now are qualified. You've been pre-qualified to invest in that particular asset because that organization knows that you have the money to put into that investment. When it comes to the online guru, coaching, consulting, training space, there is no initial block unless the guru themselves has built-in blockers, right? Like I have built-in blockers, right? But anyone can buy my coaching, right? Anyone can, right? Now, because anyone can buy my program, it's happened in the past, very small percentage amount, but some people will go into debt to pay for my course or program. I don't typically like that. There is a strategic way we can go about doing it. For example, using a 0% credit card with cashback rewards, get the $200-$300. So now, if my program is $3,000, really you only came out of pocket $2,500. So it's a $500 savings. And then immediately putting that money back into your economy. So you're able to calculate the costs for that particular investment. You were able to run the risk of investing in yourself, in Denzel's program. That's how I know people ran the math. But then once you're in with me and then you don't do that same math again, that's where I get frustrated. Now, I've had clients invest in $50,000 programs, $25,000 programs, $7,000, $10,000, $15,000. I think $50,000 was the highest program I know a client has invested in, right? And they, not all of them, some of them were able to run the math with me, calculate the costs, made the investment, and they know that if that doesn't work, they're not going to call that a scam, right? They're not going to complain. They're going to continue to move forward. They are okay with that result. If it doesn't work, they will be okay because they're going to keep working towards it. What hurts is when you did not calculate the cost of investing, you did not run the risk, and then it destroys your whole kind of mindset, messes you up completely, and it sends us back to square one again. And now it's just like, it's not healthy. It's not healthy. So please invest in self before someone else. All right. Now, levels of investing in self. So the first level, anything that is free is a great form of investing in self. So that could be a free ebook, that could be free videos, free courses, maybe free coaching. I, Denzel Rodriguez, have free courses, I have free coaching, I have a ministry of finance, okay? I have things that I provide for free. I have free videos, got 900 free videos on YouTube. That is a great start if I'm like here. Again, back to the people that I'm talking to. If you're there, I personally, anytime I have a conversation with clients, especially those that pay for my coaching call, right? If you've purchased a coaching call from me or a consultation from me for $275 an hour this year, that's my hourly rate, $275, right? Arms acting up. $275 an hour, right? This year in 2023, I've had conversations where people were only generating $300 a month, $250, like less than what they pay for. So that means that they saved up money to get that call, right? So if someone, I'm talking to a client that literally their cash flow is $200 a month, and then they bought a call for $275. That's more than their monthly cash flow, right? But they have been watching me for 9 months. So they saved up for it. They bought the call. Great. From that point forward, I said, all right, in this hour, we've strategized a way to go from $200 a month in cash flow to $500 a month in cash flow. This should take you about 4 to 6 months. Okay, mom, dad, once you have gotten to $500 a month in cash flow, then book the next call with me for the $275 an hour, right? In the meantime, I do not want you to buy anything from me. I want you to keep as much of the cash flow as you can into your debt elimination strategy over the next 4 to 6 months. Please do not waste any of this money that we're going to apply towards this 4 to 6 month strategy. Please don't buy any other courses and programs just for a temporary period of time. Please don't do it. Great. Client goes, they do it, boom. 6 months later, they're now cash flowing $500. Then they book the next call for $275. In that window, they're attending my live streams. They join Finance Geek Ministry. I have, within Finance Geek Ministry, you can get a free coaching call, right, by following the instructions in that course. So then they do that. They get another call within that 4 to 6 months. Make sure they're on track. Okay, good. You're on track. Wonderful. Great. Boom. Then they do it. They do that second call. And then 6 months later, they got $500 a month in cash flow now. They pay for the $275. And in that hour, we strategized Again, we came to the conclusion that within the next 6 months, we can get the cash flow up to about $700, right? So I said, look, moving forward, if you want, it's in the budget. We can afford additional coaching either per month or every other month, or you could wait again if you feel confident and you don't need that follow-up. 4 to 6 months from now, you get to $700, $800, maybe you do better. Now you're at $900. You maybe get a raise. Now you're at $1,000, whatever the case may be. Once you get to $800, I'll give a number, maybe $800, $1,000, whatever it is. I say, then I'll feel more comfortable you purchasing my full coaching consulting program for the $2,750. And then what I do is I minus $275 of the 2 calls that they invested it off that total cost of the program. And then I say, throw it on a credit card, get cashback rewards, reduce the cost of that, maybe on a 0% card. And now you can strategically pay that off within the 12 months, pay no interest, and we're able to move forward, right? So that is extremely healthy, right? First level of investing in self is the free stuff. Then I highly recommend, there you go. This is the best wealth generating tool on the planet. Basic instructions before leaving this earth. The Bible itself. Okay? This doesn't cost you anything. Okay? Doesn't cost you anything. That's part of the free. Now, the second level is low cost. Low cost. Let's say anywhere from $10 to $100. Right? I'll say that. Yeah. Anywhere from $10 to $100. What that looks like investing in self is maybe joining a community. Joining a community, either public or private. This could be a business networking group. This could be something in your local municipality, state, city. This could be something at your job, career that you can get into. This could be a church. This could be a guru, right? An online guru that maybe has a very, very low tier cost kind of a course where you can start getting knowledge. Maybe this is 5 books. Maybe you're going to go ahead and buy 5 books. Right? So maybe you're like me. You say, okay, at low cost, I'm going to buy this book, Business Secrets from the Bible, by Rabbi Daniel, okay? Unreasonable Hospitality by a guy named Will. Why 10x is Easier Than 2x from Dan Sullivan. Permission to Spend by Tom Wall. By the way, this book was free for me. And that book was free for me. So I got 2 books for free because I was networking and establishing connections and friendships and relationships and giving. So I got 2 books for free and I paid for these 2 books. Why 10x is Easier Than 2x, Unreasonable Hospitality. So that's the second level of investing in self. Okay? Third level, I would say mid-cost. This could be, I'd say anywhere from $150 to maybe $500, right? And what third level investing in self could look like is maybe you acquiring a license maybe a certification that can literally increase your income at the job that you're at. So maybe you're working in construction and then you're working towards getting your general contractor's license. That can immediately increase your income. That's a great way of investing in self. Maybe you're a mechanic and there's a certification, there's a program. Using Christy Van as an example. Christy Van, when we first started talking, she became she was a certified welder, right? So I'm assuming there was some cost to do that. And then by doing that, now she was able to make more money in that particular job, right? There's all kinds of licenses and certifications. Maybe you want to get a life insurance license, a health insurance license. You maybe want to be a mortgage loan officer, right? These things cost money, but they're directly tied to income. There's that assurance that if I get this license and I sell or do the job, I'm now going to get paid more than when I was without the license. Mid-cost investing. So maybe $150 to $500, maybe a little bit more, depending on background checks and fingerprinting with the state and things like that. So that's mid-cost. And that's adding to the skills, gifts, and talents that you already have. So when you're investing in yourself, you first need to know a little bit about yourself. What are your current skills, gifts, and talents that you can bring to the marketplace? So if your skill is a mechanic, a construction worker, that's what you do, I would say before you invest in an MLM company, a network marketing, a direct sales company, before you invest with a guru, a coach, an influencer that has a $10,000 program, I'd say before you do that, tap into the skills you already have. Maybe we can maximize those skills and gifts that you already have, increase the income behind that, and then that can lead us to the fourth level, which is, I would say, like second mid. There's a first mid and there's a second mid. Second mid to low high cost. Second mid to low high cost. I would say mid, you got, let's say, $997 to $2K. $2K is like a low high. It's like a low high cost, especially nowadays with the way these gurus are charging. So this is like a mid to low high cost. And then I would say the fifth level, there's a mid high and then there's a high high, but we'll just end it. I don't want to go 9 levels deep. We'll just go 5 levels deep, and we'll just call this high ticket offers. Things that will cost you thousands of dollars, right? 5K, 10K, 50K, 100K. Like, it just doesn't stop. This is infinite land. There's gurus charging $300,000, $500,000, $1 million. It just don't stop, right? High ticket offers, we'll end it off there. This is what's wild to me. I don't know how y'all do this. I don't. But I'll be working with someone that's making, under $90,000 a year, and somehow you afforded to get that $50,000 program. Now here's how they help you afford it. Here's what they'll do. Because the gurus are smart. Gurus are really, really smart. 50,000 divided by 24, that's $2,000 a month. They'll say, okay, sir, ma'am, how much money do you have? And you're like, oh, I only have $7,000 in savings, right? So you got your $7,000 in savings. You're gonna blow your savings on this $50,000 program, right? So here we go. They'll say, okay, I'll take that down payment of $7,000. Cool. $43,000, and then let's finance that over 24 months. Can you do $1,791 a month? No, I can't do that. $1,791, can't afford that. That's too much for me. Is there another way that we can do it? Oh yeah, absolutely, Mr. Sir, ma'am, mom, dad. Sure. Here we go. So we're gonna do that $7,000 in savings. That'll be your down payment. All right, so we use that $7K. So now you only owe $43,000, and let's go ahead and finance the rest. So let's see if we can get you approved for financing. Okay. So we go through a financing company, and $43,000 at 9.5%. All right, so we got 4,850. 43,000 divided by, let's do 48 months. 895. How's that? Oh, I could do that. Denzel helped me get my cash flow to like $1,200. So, $895, and you're saying that within the first 60, 90 days, you've helped clients generate an extra $10,000 a month. That makes perfect sense. Yeah, I'm in. So you finance it at 9.5%. Your payments are $895 a month, and you put all your savings down. So now you got no savings, no emergency fund, paying $895, and now your cash flow drops back down to where we first met, somewhere like $300 again. And that was just for the cost of the program. What the guru forgot to mention was the cost of starting a business. They forgot to mention that part, didn't they? They forgot to mention the LLC you got to get. They forgot to mention the software that you got to get. They forgot to mention all the other crap that they're paying thousands of dollars for, that they're charging you thousands of dollars for, so they can pay for their software and their programs and their LLCs, things like that. Again, I don't hate these guys. There's a place for them. There's a place for these guys. And they're dealing with 7, 8, 9, 10-figure earners. That makes perfect sense. If I'm making $3 million a year, and their program costs $50K, that's a walk in the park. $100K, walk in the park. That's a walk in the park. All right, here's $100K, bruh. Help me out. $50K, I'm in. I have clients that generate 7 figures. They look at me crazy when they see my pricing. They're like, damn, Denzel, you should be charging way more. I'm like, I know, but I'm not typically talking to you. These are my people. I'm talking to mothers under 90K. I'm talking to majority Hispanics. I'm talking majority blacks that are doing like 30, 40, 50K a year. Those are my people. Those are your people. 7, 8, 9, 10 figures. I got no beef with you. I got no quarrel with you. My beef is with my client. I'm trying to get them to understand where they're at and where we can go. And the process, right? You're going to hire this guru when you got the best guru on the planet? Whoever lived, whoever walked, his name is Jesus. That's the best guru there is. Best politician, best king, best everything. He'll give you the strategy to walk through that process. Right? I'm just saying. That was my rant. I needed to spend a lot of time here because I can't tell you all this work that we do right here. All this work gets thrown out the door the minute they find that sexy guru, influencer, amazing offer. Denzel, you got to look up this guy. Denzel, you got to look up this girl. You got to check them out. I check them out. I'm like, oh, they're great. I could afford them. I don't know if you can. I think they're great. Why don't you just buy their book first? Why don't you just obtain their free content first? Why do you have to jump here? But why skip 4 levels? That's crazy. That don't make sense. Lastly is avoid the scams. Okay? Big announcement. Is anybody investing in Novatech at the very moment? Does anybody know of a company called Novatech? Novatech. 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 Go ahead and comment below if you are investing in that company, or if you are familiar or know someone who is investing in that company. I believe I have 2 clients I can think of off the top of my head that I know are investing in Novatech, and they've been making money, right? I've seen the numbers with the clients that I produce on the spreadsheet, so I know they are making money. Now, there's 2 YouTube channels that I keep an eye on, that I follow, to stay up to date with scams that happen all day long, all around us in the internet world, and even, in the maybe different companies that you're a part of, right? There's scams happening every day. So there's these 2 YouTube channels that I really like, where they've dedicated their entire life to identifying scams before they get acknowledged as a scam, right? And if you watch their channel, you'll see how, right now they'll identify a company they're saying, hey, this is a scam, right? And then 1 year goes by, they're now in the news, this company's a scam. Like, they're like mini prophets. They're just prophesizing over these companies that are scams. They're able to identify triggers, yellow flags, red flags, and they say, beware, watch out, be careful. Extremely important. Again, comment below if you do know of a company named Novatech and you're investing with them, you're making money with them. I need you to please do some additional research. I want to be wrong, right? I want to be wrong. I don't want it to be a scam. I don't want my clients getting involved in scams. So I want to be wrong. But if I am not, please do additional research and homework so that we don't fall into a scam, right? So first channel is Pocket Watching with JT. This gentleman is a certified financial planner, financial advisor. So he ties finance into, all of his conversations, and all he does all day long is point out crazy scams. And you'll see the thumbnails. There's I'm sure y'all know a lot of the people on here, right? There's some big names on here. Look, Grant Cardone, right there. Some big names. A lot of stuff. There's the Novatech I was telling you about. I watched that video recently, right? And if I'm not mistaken, I think he put out another one. But so he focuses primarily on the black community. So it's like black on black crime that is financial crimes, insurance fraud, tax fraud, pyramid schemes, MLM companies, investment hedge fund companies, crypto and blockchain companies, gurus and influencers. So he specifically focuses on one community, right? The other channel is CoffeeZilla. Much bigger channel, and he focuses on big type scams, big names, as you can see. You got Andrew Tate, Logan Paul, right? Big YouTubers. Huge. Look at this. Meet Kevin, Andre GEEK, Graham Stephan. And what he'll do is, Dan Loke, what he'll do is he'll buy their courses, he'll buy their programs, and then he reviews them and talks about how bad they were and how it's like a scam. Like, you should not be paying this kind of money, right? So he goes after big scams, right? And I guess he did something with Netflix, right? So he's like, there's a show called American Greed, right? That's on mainstream television. He is like the social media American Greed, covering major scams that happen all throughout the country, right? And even globally, okay? And he also does a lot on gurus and influencers, okay? So every now and then I go on their 2 channels and I observe, and I keep an eye out. Doesn't cost me any money. Anytime I come across an opportunity, I filter it through their 2 lenses, right? So I had a client tell me about Novatech and how much money they were investing in, how much money they were putting into it, and all this stuff. I emailed them last night or this morning. I said, please look into this, okay? I'm just now coming across it. I'm giving the warning now. If something happens, you would have known. Denzel gave the warning. And that's why I like to be up to date, up to speed on what's going on with what they're covering. They're like the news that I need, because they're covering the space that I'm in, the content creator, influencer, guru space, right? So any company they mention, I take it seriously, right? I do my own research. Sometimes I might even disagree, but most of the time I agree with a lot of what they're saying. So that's my method of avoiding scams, because people will just say avoid scams, right? And it's like, well, what's a scam? I mean, that term is so broad, so deep, goes multiple layers wide that it can be confusing, right? So I rely on the experts that are covering scams regarding gurus, right? And I put myself on the hot seat as well. You know me, if I'm wrong about something, I correct it. You know how I am. I've been saying it since day one, right? I've made videos, velocity banking has been called a scam and continues to be called a scam so many times by so many other financial, coaches, consultants, other finance channels calling velocity banking a scam. And I reach out to all of them. Anyone that's a content creator that produces a video that says velocity banking is a scam, don't do velocity banking, I immediately get notified because I know how to search that stuff. So I look, I find the video, I watch the video thoroughly, I look at their numbers, I comment below, I say, hey, you've got some fatal errors, some critical errors here that you missed. I like this point that you made. I like this point that you made. Would you like to have a dialogue? Would you like to have a conversation? Not a debate, a dialogue, a conversation that we can record, that we can educate both of our audiences. Because I believe you're doing a poor job at explaining this concept. And someone that has been practicing it for 5 years, that's an expert in it, I can help you identify certain areas or help you say things that you're trying to say so that we can be more accurate, right? And I said, hey, velocity banking ends up being a scam, I will take down every single video. I will let you know way in advance. Hey, velocity banking no longer works. They changed legislation. The banks did this. The banks removed all HELOCs. The banks removed all credit cards. The banks removed all PLOCs. We can't do velocity banking anymore. Can't be done. I'll let you know. Hey, game's over, right? Be the first one. That's not the case. I don't see banks eliminating all credit cards, all HELOCs, all PLOCs. That is a huge part of their revenue. I just don't see them doing that. But if they did, I'm the first one to notify you of the train crashing, to get your money out of those tools before they close them on you, to stop doing velocity banking so that we try to reduce as much loss as possible. So we went over, let's do a recap, went over the main things that we can do to recover cash flow quickly and then keep that cash flow by investing in self before someone else and avoiding scams, right? If my internet cuts out, guys, I am very, very sorry. I'm in South Florida and it was sunny out and now it is like pour down. So it might be done in about 10-15 minutes, but if the internet cuts out, I am very, very sorry. And hopefully I'll be able to kick back in. But that's the recap. Know your numbers. do these things. You can reach out to me directly. Here are your levels of investing in self before you get to high ticket. It most likely does not make sense for most people under 90K to be investing in high ticket offers. I would stay in the 4 levels, right? And when you're investing in self, please get to know yourself a little bit before you invest in a thing, in a business, in an asset, in an opportunity. Does it match up with your skills and talents? You know, there's a lot of people that are investing in sales opportunities. Those are typically network marketing, MLMs, direct sales companies, agencies, all kinds of things. So when you invest in a sales-driven type of a environment and you have no sales experience, you have no experience making phone calls, you have no experience receiving no's on the other end of the line, you have no experience with follow-up, you have no experience with email nurturing, you have no experience with building credibility without credibility, there might be a huge learning curve and delay before you reach the multiple 6 figures that they're preaching about. Okay? Now, but if you're a mechanic making 70 grand a year, and if we can go on YouTube and find the most successful mechanics in America, or do a Google search and find successful mechanics in America, millionaire mechanics in America, and if they can give us 3 to 5 tips on how to bring our income from 70K to 140,000 a year, 70K to 100,000 a year, and it only requires a $500 certification, $1,000 certification, I'm going to jump on that way before I jump on this MLM, direct sales network marketing company. Way before I jump on any type of sales opportunity. Way before. Because those are the skills I already have. And I can maximize that, get the cash flow, and then start learning a new skill in sales that can improve the career I'm already in, and then start that business on the side that can then become the main thing, right? Super important. So what I want to do is a career study, and I'm going to use the careers that you guys have mentioned in the room here, right? So I'm going to scroll back up, and Shane was the first one. He said auto sales, right? Now, this is my opinion. I could be wrong. All right. But this is how I would do it. If I was a car salesman today, selling cars at GM, Toyota, Hyundai, wherever, right? Auto sales. I'm assuming that there's the guy that sells the car, right? So let's go over the roles. I need to identify all the roles within that organization, within that company, right? So there's the car sales guy, and I'm going to assume that's like the lowest level. I could be wrong here. There's the car sales guy. Then there's probably a manager, right? There's maybe below the car sales guy, there's like the normal staff that just work the front desk. Maybe they just file papers, things like that. I don't know if those two get paid the same, or this one's lower and this one's a little bit higher. Then there's the manager, and then I'm assuming there's the financing guy. I might be wrong here. I think this guy makes the most money at the dealership. I'm assuming. That's the last guy you talk to, the financing guy, the guy that you sign all the contracts with, all the papers with. I'm assuming that guy is making the most bank. So if I'm in auto sales and I sell cars, I'm looking at the hierarchy of that business that I'm in, and I need to talk to my boss. I want to build a relationship with my boss. And I want to map out a plan to become the financing guy, if that's the role. Now, Shane, correct me. Correct me if I'm wrong. Shane, Hollingsworth, if you're still in the house, let me know if that is the highest paying job or career within a dealership, right? Within the dealership, not kind of like out where we get into like regional and vice presidents, C-suite executives and things like that. Just within that department, let me know if that's true. I'm assuming it is, because I think this guy needs to know a lot more than the manager, and needs to know a lot more than the guy selling the car, because the guy selling the car has to go to his manager. His manager has to go to the financing guy. The financing guy says, yep, we can do that deal. The manager comes back to the sales guy, and then he writes on the paper, and then that's how they go back and forth in negotiation, right? Been doing this a long time from the customer point of view, where I've gone through about 6 cars so far, leasing every single time, and that's the same flow. I get the guy on the floor, sales guy, pulls me aside. All right, let's go look at the cars. Manager comes by, offers a deal. I say no. He goes to the financing guy. Financing guy comes back to the manager. Manager goes to the car sales guy. Say, okay, let's do a deal. Cool. So let's map out a plan to increase income role within that organization. Because I believe that if I'm starting out like, 40, 50K a year as a car sales guy, my manager's doing 70, 80, my financing guy is doing 90, 100. Dude, how long does it take to become the financing guy? Right? Versus starting an MLM company, a network marketing, a direct sales, an online business that has a 90 plus failure rate. Guys, let's not overlook this. Any network marketing, multi-level marketing, direct sales company, there's a 90+% failure rate. The average network marketer, multi-level marketer, direct sales person, average, they're only making a couple $1,000 a year. Not even enough. That's not enough to feed your kids. That's not enough to put food on the table. So, would you rather jump on that? Now, obviously, great risk, great reward, totally get it. But which would you rather do? This is just how my mind is working, right? I like real GDP, real gross domestic production. That's what I really like. I was saying in my last video that I'm a much better employee than I am an entrepreneur, business owner, or service provider. I'm a much better employee. If someone was to offer me the right opportunity, the right amount of money, I would hop on it. If it made sense, I would jump on it. If someone offered me the right opportunity, the right kind of money, consistent income, I would be the best employee, the best, right? And I don't think there's any shame in the game in terms of having a job, right? And if my job happens to be my purpose, even better. If it is not, I'm thinking about how can I maximize that job career that I'm currently in. So I'm looking at the hierarchy of that. I'm building a relationship with the boss, and I'm asking him, how do we map out a plan to double my income within the next 2 to 3 years? Is that a possibility here? Has anyone double, triple, quadrupled their income working within this organization? I'm just asking questions here, right? Let's get curious. Let's get curious. Now, in addition to that, the other question is, how do we bring additional value to the company that we work for? One of the most important things that every company wants is marketing and leads. Leads, marketing. Every company needs this because that ultimately converts to sales, revenue, profit generated. So, in addition to getting a mapped out plan on how I can rise through the ranks of this company organization, increasing my income, increasing my skills and talents within the thing that I'm already doing, right, Shane? Then I'm going to go to my boss and say, hey, who is in the marketing department for this location? Who does the marketing? Who's in charge of the marketing? I think I could potentially provide even more value by creating content. Imagine getting paid to create content for the company you already work for, and it doesn't take additional time because you can do it within your 40, 50 hour, 60 hour work week. You don't have to do it at home. Imagine if your company, if you made the right pitch, the right offer, they covered the cost of obtaining the microphone, the camera, the lighting, the studio, the setting to create that content and educate your customers, existing customers at the car dealership. Think about the car dealership, Shane, that you work at. How many customers do you guys already have on the books? And how many of those customers have car leases that are expiring within the next 3 to 6 months? How many of them have cars that are going to be paid off within the next 3 to 6 months? Let's get that data and information, and we can start creating content to serve specifically to that email audience, right? Because the car dealership has a massive email list of leads and prospects, and then existing customers and clients that have purchased cars from that specific dealership. I can't tell you how many times people buy a car from this dealership and they don't go back to the same car salesman when they go to get the next car, because they get marketing from someone else that was doing better marketing. And then 5 years later, they go buy a new car and they go somewhere else, and they go somewhere else, then they go somewhere else, and they go somewhere else, right? So what if there was a way for us to retain the existing customers and bring more revenue into the business by creating content for that dealership, that specific dealership? Educational content. Knowing what the average pricing is. Understanding like how to get your client to get the best deal. Right? You're still going to make money. Think about it. If you help more people get better deals on cars, that's more money than you trying to make the most amount of money on one car or 2 cars or 3 cars. Help them learn about MSRP, cap costs, interest costs, price of the vehicle. Help them understand, hey, if you go with this color over that color, if you're not, if you want to get a demo car or with a couple miles on it, if you're not too concerned about look and feel, I can get you the best car right now. In and out. Done. Now you're doing deals faster. This is how my mind's working, right? Rather than me taking my free net cash flow and throwing it into someone else's dividend, someone else's company, in the S&P 500, I'm going to invest in the S&Me 500. Shout out to Alex Harmozy, who gave me that line, right? That's an easy, quick case study. That, like, Shane, boom. If you don't do that, hey, that's on you. You let me know how it works for you. I didn't see Shane comment, so I'm assuming he had to jump. So, if you're in the house right now, because I want a little more interaction, got 61 people here active, right? If you're here right this moment, right now, and you want me to do a case study on your career or job, put it in the comment now. Put it in the comments now. And I'm going to fly through as many comments as I can do real quick. Right? Just looking at some people here. Where did I leave off? Left off with Shane. Oh, there's a bunch of comments I missed. All right. Let's see. There was my trucking person. All right. Ben's in the house. Good morning. Florida, both self-employed, the lawn service. Indiana, project manager. Good morning. Okay, cool. God bless you too, Van. All right. Let's see. Do you do affiliate with Myron Golden? I do not. I do not. But he is pretty awesome. Angela said you just heard about me last night. Awesome. Glad you're here. Happy you're here. All right. I'm scrolling quickly. First live. Cool. So we got people doing 170K a year, 70K a year. Okay, we make 210,000 a year, but have some debt from business startup costs. Cool. 79K. Yep. 79K. 75K. Cool. Cash flow is 7 figures. Jim, just want to be real here. 7 figures cash flow net per what? Per year? Help me out there. I think I need to learn from you. If you're telling me that if you're cash flowing 7 figures, that means you're generating multiple 7 figures, probably even 8 figures. And I probably need to talk to you. I need to learn from you, see what the heck you doing, right? 135K in retirement, 156K, cool. Yep. All right. Love your content. Yeah, awesome. Infinite banking working well for me and my family. I'm sure it is. With all that cash flow you got. Sure it is. Okay. Paying $400 a week. That's how much you make. Okay. What about health conscious folks? Not much coupons out there. I beg to differ. I think with some additional research, you could probably find something. Right? If you cut out expensive cuts of meat, processed foods, I found my grocery bill to be much less expensive in these days. Yeah, I think if you're health conscious, you're probably saving more money than the person that's eating terrible. I wouldn't doubt it. All right? Let's see. Uh-oh. I called you out? No, I wasn't calling you out, Jerry. It's out of love, everyone. Invest in yourself by buying this course. Me, I'm not buying it. Yeah, like that's the, yeah. And honestly, I've done that. Because it will make sense at certain levels. That's why I wanted to lay out the levels where it's like, I'm not seeing it as a bad thing. It's just bad timing. And then what makes it even worse is when the course is like a ridiculous amount of money compared to what you are making. It is no longer a ridiculous amount of money when a Dan Loke, a Grant Cardone, a Myron Golden is charging $500,000 to entrepreneurs that are doing 9 figures. That's nothing to them. Right? In fact, that's the only reason why they would buy. A 9-figure, 10-figure entrepreneur is not going to buy a $3,000 program. He's going to be like, what is that? All right, what the heck am I going to get from that? Invested $50,000 on a course and all I got was this t-shirt. You didn't even get the course? There's scams happening all day long. Invested $30K in online dropshipping business, worked for only 6 months. Store got shut down by Amazon Plus. The YouTuber that offered the service was a total wreck. Yep. How many people have been just demolished when it came to drop shipping and e-commerce, right? How the heck are these gurus killing it, right? In that space. No, I totally get it. MLM, network marketing, how many of you just been like torn apart? It says, what about obtaining my master's degree in cybersecurity? Is that worth it? I think it would be, absolutely. Especially if you plan on that being your career for like, you want to go for, a decade, multiple decades, 2-3 decades. My fiance is a lawyer, has $140,000+ of student loan debt. Her first year, starting out, $90K. There's a pathway to multiple 6 figures that we can get to that makes it totally worth it of, offsetting and paying off those student loans. And we have a whole strategy that we're going to do that. I have friends that are engineers that probably have 6 figures in student loan debt. I think it absolutely is worth it. That's producing real GDP, real gross domestic production in our U.S. economy. I think is super important to have a skill that when all this crashes, when markets crash and whatnot, you're still going to need a plumber, you're still going to need mechanics, you're still going to need construction workers, you're still going to need engineers, you're still going to need lawyers, you're still going to need finance professionals. Real GDP. Love it. All right. Speaking straight facts, does Novatech pay out dividends? They do. Thanks for heads up on scam watchers. So needed. Scammers are so sophisticated now, improving by the nanosecond. You're right. American Greed, eye opener. What a message. Reality check for us. I'm familiar. Don't do it. So Martin is familiar with it. Stay away from Novatech. How to become a lifetime client. I got the links below to do that. Check out the coaching on my website, denzelrodriguez.com. I'll take you right there. If you have any questions, email me. Happy to help. 25 plus years in logistics / trucking that recently got my insurance license. Now I'm stuck in between those two. From your perspective, what do you think is best upside? So you recently got your insurance license. What kind of license is that? Right? So you're the first person that commented the industry that you're in, right? First time live, 180,000 a year. Good. Travel nurse. In fact, I know that name. Oh, let me. You know what? Now that Gifty is here, I had recently came back from a sabbatical, and when I got back from sabbatical, for some reason, my Calendly and my email were not communicating with each other. So what ended up happening was I had about at least 5 to 7 clients that booked calls, and I was not notified of the call. It didn't pop up on my my phone calendar where I can see my calls, right? And usually I get like email notifications 10 minutes before each call, letting me know the call that I'm on or whatever, right? And so I missed about 5 to 7 calls since coming back from the sabbatical. I couldn't figure it out. Finally figured it out a couple days ago, and I had to basically sign out of the accounts, sign back in, reconnected, and then all of a sudden I started seeing all these calls pop up, and I was like, oh shoot. I thought my days were less, and then they were fully packed. So that is me dropping the ball big time. Gifty was a victim of that. She invested money with me. I missed her call, and then I was literally getting a haircut. That's the truth. I'm in the barbershop chilling, getting my hair cut, and once I left, I'm like, this lady just rushed down. I had a call. What? And I'm looking, I'm like, she did buy a call for this time. And it wasn't, I'm like, what the heck? So, totally dropped the ball. Gifty was a victim of that, as well as probably 4 or 5 other paying clients. And then there were some free calls that I also missed as well. So that is me, owning my mistake. It really shouldn't happen. A technological mistake. Definitely got upset with that. So coming back to you, Planet. So if you just commented. My question to you is, what type of insurance license are you referring to? But you did say you're stuck in between those two. And from your perspective, which do you think is the best upside? In my opinion, it's definitely going to be the trucking. You say you have 25 years in logistics and trucking. So we got 25 years working. Logistics, trucking. That can mean a lot of things. Okay? What I'm going to do the same strategy, but I'm not going to write it. I'm going to add different things. So same strategy as Shane with the auto sales. Who's my boss? Who's my manager? Let me build relationships with them. What is the hierarchy in this organization company that I'm in? And how do I rank? How do I rank up through the levels? What's the quickest, fastest way to go about doing that? Do I need another license? Do I need another certification? What do I need? Okay. All of that I just said, the same. Now, a little bit different, a little add-on here is every trucker needs to have some type of protection, some type of insurance protection on the truck itself, right? So there's trucker's insurance. Then I'm pretty sure that whatever you're hauling, there's insurance on that. And if you're working with truckers that are delivering highly explosive or very dangerous chemicals, that if the truck were to crash and blow and explode or whatever the case may be, I'm pretty sure there's all levels of insurances. So you said you got a license, right? So you said life insurance and annuities, right? So that's what he got, ladies and gentlemen. So he got his life insurance and annuities. So now he has to learn all about annuities and all about life insurance to sell to, I don't know, whomever, right? He's got to go find leads and do all this work and marketing and follow up. And man, does that take additional time away from logistics and trucking that he's already been doing for 25 years. So maybe if I got a license that the company I work for can give to me or subsidize or take it out of the paycheck, and then the company uses me to deliver that insurance to all of the truckers that company knows and that company is affiliated with. So now I don't have to get leads on my own. Now I don't have to worry about marketing. And you're already going to have a very, very healthy level of knowledge on the thing, right? So I think that's going to make it easier. So that's one idea, is all the different insurances that go within that industry, whatever certifications and license needed within that, and then who can I plug myself into where they just provide the leads. Maybe I do within the company. That's additional income, right? There is the affiliate referral route of recommending products and services that truckers need when they're on the road. Boots, gloves, lunch boxes, hydro flasks, certain types of things that they need. Certain jackets, certain clothing, keeps them comfortable, certain seating for the trucks. Like think of all the things that are purchased and bought. Dash cams, how important dash cams are for truckers to have in their vehicles, right? Maybe you can sell those things and work out a deal. Okay. The other thing, since you have 25 years of doing this kind of work, you need to work your way to the third level of wealth, which is communication. Without a doubt. That can probably explode your income. So that's communication, that's speaking. So I'm pretty sure companies and organizations that have many, many truckers probably do annual meetings or quarterly meetings or something like that, and they can bring you in as a speaker and pay you thousands of dollars to speak to a bunch of truckers, maybe new truckers, right? And you can do a training. So speaking, training, communication, you could roll out a curriculum, all right? the CDL license, right? To even drive trucks. There's licenses and training that you need to even drive the truck in the first place. Maybe you could be an instructor or a trainer, and maybe there's big money to be made there to some degree, working with certain companies. Maybe you could be a motivational speaker, encouraging these truckers. Maybe you can, spin finance into it, and we can do a deal together. There could be something there, right? So that's just what's coming to mind. Let me read what you wrote here. You said that I'm a broker, third party, so I just have to find clients that need to move freight, quote them, and then I contract the truckers, other companies. It's like a middleman, as people call it. I do not drive. Okay. So he doesn't drive trucks, right? So we got more clarity there. He doesn't drive trucks. He's a broker. All right. So now, another thing that comes to mind is I want to do market research. So I'm assuming, since you're a broker and you don't drive, you're most likely, I'm assuming you're behind a desk, you're in an office space, you're doing more phone calls, maybe more meetings, things like that. I want to do market research on YouTube, on Google, and I want to find the richest, wealthiest brokers in logistics and trucking in the United States. Let's find the top 3 to 5 influencers, I know they're out there, that do what you do, right? There's a show called Undercover Boss, and maybe you can look through all of those episodes and see if there's a CEO or something that does logistics and trucking, and maybe you can reach out to that CEO, that executive, get through the, what do they call that? The gatekeepers, right? And receive mentorship from someone that is generating double what you make. If you don't mind putting in the comment, how after 25 years of working in logistics and trucking, what is the revenue that you project to generate this year? Planet, what is the revenue you project? Let me see if you put it in the comments earlier. I don't think you did. No, you didn't. Yeah. So put that in the comments for me. Give me an idea of how much revenue that currently makes for you now as a broker, as a middleman, right? And then I would want to do research with you together, figuring out where could we potentially go. Could I be making multiple 6 figures, multiple 7 figures? Who in the industry, right? Top 3 to 5 influencers that are doing this really, really well. And then we reach out to them seeking mentorship. So let's seek some mentorship in that. So that's what came to mind. That right there. On top of all this stuff, on top of all that stuff, everything we just went over, to me, life insurance and annuity sounds like a big distraction. I would hold on to the license, no doubt, but I would have someone else do the life insurance selling and the annuities selling, and you just send them the lead. I would not do the work. Split the commission. I think you'll make more money doing that. That's what I do, right? So I mentioned earlier that I'm a managing partner of an agency now. So if you want to tie your license to sell life insurance and annuities, you want to work with someone like myself and be on a team, and you can have someone else do the sales of the life insurance and annuities for you, right? Then that's something that we can talk offline about. You just email me directly, reach out. Happy to help you in that regard, because that's what I do. I talk about life insurance a lot on this channel, but I can tell you I've never written a policy by myself. I've never written one policy by myself. And I have probably a good 150 clients, probably 200 or more. that have purchased some form of life insurance, right? So that's leveraging other people's time, other people's resources, other people's audiences, other people's stages, other people's money, right? So it goes beyond OPM. Kim says, I'm a nurse, right? I'm a nurse. How do I boost something? I don't know what you said there. So I'm not sure if you're tuning in late, Kim. But as a nurse, I think there's really good money to be made. I mean, look at a travel nurse doing $180K a year. So if you don't have an issue traveling, if that's not an issue for you, you might want to look into that as a nurse. If you're planted in one hospital right now or one location, maybe being a traveling nurse, okay, could potentially boost your income tremendously. I think maybe if there's additional training in the nursing industry that we could potentially get into. Matter of fact, anybody in here that is a nurse that knows about ways to generate more income, go ahead and comment that, especially if you catch the replay, because I do have a lot of clients that are nurses, and I've worked with nurses that are doing multiple six figures a year, and then I'm working with nurses that are doing like 60, 70. So I'm like, that's a big gap, right? Okay, boost income, that's what you said. Okay, yeah, Kim. So, Kim, you need to get connected with travel nurses. Have a conversation with them. I want to sit down with my boss, my manager. What is a pathway to increase my income by this much in the next year or 2 years, right? I would also look into potentially sales marketing within the hospital that you're with. There might be some really unique opportunities there in terms of there's expensive equipment in hospitals, right? Who sells that equipment? Who is getting the commission for that, right? So Gifty says, I'm happy to help anyone interested in travel nursing. Yeah, if there's a way to reach out, whether you have like an email that you can throw in there, or those of you that want to get a hold of her, you can reach out to me, and then I'll ask for her permission and go from there. But if you're okay with putting your email, you can do that as well. If not, they can reach out to me, and then I'll ask you and make that connection. This way, that's helpful. This way, you're not getting bombarded by a bunch of people that want to waste your time, right? So you can come through me first, and then I can send them to you one by one. So I think that would be unique, all right? Everything that I just said for the auto sales and the logistics and trucking, same thing, right? Just make it for your environment, for your career, right? There's another nurse I know that started a business where some kind of a product that I think you put on your body or something like that, and I think it helps you get through the day. I forget, but she was making good money. So there might be, think about what nurses need a lot of that maybe you could sell either directly to the nurses or to the hospital, to the company, that they could buy and supply it to the nurses, and this is going to improve their day. It's going to improve their performance, right? So I'm assuming that's her Instagram, right? So you guys can reach out that way. So I'm assuming that's her Instagram. Denzel, I'm interested to know the same info regarding physical therapists. Oh my goodness, what an industry. I'm noticing a lot of low salaries and caps on increases in North Carolina, particularly. I would also like to offer help to anyone interested in logistics. I like this. I like this energy. Those of you willing to help people in your industry, increase their income. I like this. So I'm about to wrap up in about 2 minutes here, but with the physical therapist, Stacy, right? That means you're helping people healing from certain injuries, right? I would research wellness centers in your area that, maybe deal in functional medicine, maybe chiropractors, right? Again, market research, top 3 to 5 physical therapists on YouTube. I know he or she is out there. They're out there. And they're going to tell you how to boost your income. I also think there's probably a lot of money to be made depending on the type of client you're working with. So as a physical therapist, could you potentially double your income by maybe getting into sports physical therapy? Imagine getting contracted with the NBA, the NFL, MLB, right? Hockey, tennis, any one of sports, right? Imagine getting contracted directly with a team, and now you travel with that team, and that's what you do, and you're making multiple 6 figures, right? Or maybe it's a local sports team. Maybe it's a local college team. So maybe less traveling. Maybe you don't want to travel that much, right? But I'm assuming that when someone starts to travel in their career, you're making way more money than the person that's planted. So that does come with like pros and cons. Maybe you're not able to be around family all the time and your schedule's a little wacky. But that might be worth it for about 3 to 5 years if it meant tripling your income. And if you do the right stuff with it, wipe out the debt, avoid the scams, avoid the, investing in other people before investing in yourself, preserving that cash flow, getting it really, really high so that when you do eventually find that guru and they're offering a $10,000, $50,000, $100,000 program, it's nothing for you to drop that kind of money. And now it looks like a deal. Now it looks like a great deal, right? Rather than, oh my God, what a stretch, right? So I think maybe looking at sports. Also there might be a good amount of money in the long-term care space, those long-term care facilities, and then you're helping the older senior folks with physical therapy and their injuries. These people are on big plans, paying tons of money. I'm sure these long-term care facilities are banking on all that insurance that they're receiving. So they might have a really good budget for a physical therapist to come in there. And again, it's like you're contracting yourself, and then maybe you find other physical therapists that you could subcontract the work, and now you're getting a piece of their work plus the work that you're doing, right? And maybe that could lead into government contracting, right, with certain agencies. So that's what came to mind. Take that, run with it. Hopefully it's very helpful. We're going to close it out here. I went 2 hours. Thank you so much. Hopefully this was extremely valuable to you. Hit the like button, right? That really helps. And if you want to go ahead and reach out to me directly on any particular topic discussed today, reach out. Happy to help, right? If you're like, okay, I want to do all the free stuff that you have to offer, Denzel, to get my cash flow from like, a couple $100 upwards up to 1,000, and then I'll invest in coaching. That's what I usually like anyways. I don't want it to be a huge stretch when you invest in any of my coaching, consulting, strategy programs that I have laid out, right? I'd rather you go through the levels of investing in self before someone else. Invest in the SME 500 before the S&P 500. It's personal opinion. So with that being said, God bless you all, and we'll be talking soon. Have a wonderful day.